Alright, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, and as part of the Rankin Technical College AWD, or Application and Website Development Program, I am starting to go through a series of lectures on our textbook for the class, which is, as we've seen, ProASP.NET MVC5 by Adam Freeman. So far I've gone over chapter 1, and I've made the decision, hopefully conscious decision, that before I go into chapter 2, your first MVC application, I'm first going to uninstall my Visual Studio 2017, and I'm going to install Visual Studio 2019. Now that's going to slow down what I'm doing right here, but at least you'll be able to see what I am doing. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to type in Control Panel. Alright, and I'm going to go to Programs and Features and double click on that. And look and see if I can find Visual Studio. Now it might be under Microsoft, it might be just, there's Visual Studio Community 2017. So I'm going to right mouse click on that and choose Uninstall. And it says, do you want to allow your app to make changes? I'm going to say yes. I really and truly don't know how long this particular process takes. When I am finished, I'm going to go out to visualstudio.com/downloads, and I'm going to download the Visual Studio 2019 Community Edition. It tells me that it wants me to update my installer. Don't know why, but I'm going to anyway. So now for me, this is the end of May 2019. Sometime in July 2019, I'm scheduled to be getting a new machine. So I'm going to be going through this process all over again. The only difference is I won't have a current version of Visual Studio to uninstall. I'll just be installing the Visual Studio 2019 Community Edition. Now it says here, almost done, getting everything ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause. Well, maybe I won't have to. But I'm basically uninstall Visual Studio. You are about to uninstall it. Click OK to continue. That's what I want to do. Now again, I have no idea how long this will take. It's uninstalling. While it's happening, we want to ask you a few questions so we can improve the quality of our product. Sure. What is the primary reason you plan on uninstalling today? I am moving from one version to the next. Okay, from 2017 to 2019. Are you moving away from the preview to the release version? No. Tell us more why you're moving away from the preview. Uninstalling Visual Studio 2017 Community Edition. Next, installing Visual Studio 2019 Community Edition. Do I intend to reinstall? Yes, the newer version, 2019. How long have you used Visual Studio? More than 5 years. Next. How satisfied are you? I'm somewhere between satisfied and very satisfied. By and large, it's been pretty good. Is there anything else you'd like us to know? No. May we contact you in case you have additional questions? Sure. Jeff, JP Scott at rankin.edu. Done. Where do you stand on current events? That's enough surveys for me. So I'm going to close that. Now, I'm not sure right now if it is going through the uninstall process or not, unfortunately. But I am going to go to Visual Studio Community 2019 and I'm going to install that. Now, I don't want to waste your time listening to me talk about stuff that probably or may not really affect you. So, it says before we get started, following processes are running. One of the things that's running right now is earlier I put up 3 practice projects using Visual Studio. So yeah, that was running and that's on me. Alright, so I'm going to retry. And it still says I have a couple things. Most of them are closed. The Service Hub, don't know what else I have open that would really be affected by this. Well, I can close that because I am running Visual Studio. I am running Visual Studio Code also. Now it's starting to get to starting operation, which I believe means that it will be doing the uninstall. So I'm going to pause the video, and once it finishes the uninstall, I'll start it back up again so I can do the install of Visual Studio 2019. So hopefully I'll be back somewhat soon. Alright, as you can see, and this took somewhere around 15 minutes. If we look right here, I no longer have Visual Studio. So I went out to visualstudio.com/downloads, which pushed me to visualstudio.microsoft.com/downloads. And under the downloads, I want Visual Studio 2019, the Community Edition, because it's free. So free download. If I am asked what I want, I'm just going to add everything. Let us know what you're building and we'll send you helpful tips. Web applications. Okay, sure. Thanks for signing up. 5+ years, sure. All right. Thank you for downloading Visual Studio. If the download does not begin, click here to retry. Well, I'm now right here, and it says, what do you want? I want to run it. And if I'm asked what I want to load, I'm going to load as much as I can. The problem is, one of the reasons I'm getting a new machine is because this one is running out of room. But we're going to try it like this anyway. It'll be interesting because I have no idea if Visual Studio 2019 looks different, acts different, etc. than Visual Studio 2017. I really don't know. All right. I do want, of course, please make sure you do the .NET or ASP.NET and web development. We shouldn't need Python. I'll do the Azure also, even though we probably won't need that. We won't need Node.js, to my knowledge. We won't need the desktop development with C++. I'm going to use this. So the three that I'm going to check, there's 7 here. I'm checking the ASP.NET and web development, the Azure development. I am not checking Python development, Node.js development. I am checking the .NET desktop development, though I probably won't need that, but I'm going to anyway. And I'm not doing the desktop development with C++. I'm not doing the Universal Windows Platform development. All right. It says I need 9 gig. I probably don't have 9 gig on here, to be honest with you. Let me check. Let's see. It says right now on the C drive that I have 11 gig available. Hot dog. All right, then maybe it will load okay. So install while downloading. I'm just going to click the button that says install. All right. I'm not going to take the survey now. I already took it. So this is going through the process. And I'll tell you what, I have no idea how long this is going to be. So again, what I will do, it is 12:08. I will come back when the process has been concluded. All right, it's been about, I don't know, 8 or 9 minutes. And it looks as though this is almost finished. It's got 359 of 373 packages installed. Now it's 370 of 373, 371, 373. Finishing up. And I noticed it said start after installation, so it just did that on its own, which is fine. I guess I could uncheck it, but that'll be fine. I'm going to save this in just a few moments and then come back and do chapter 2. But this will be saved basically, and I'm probably going to call it Uninstalling Visual Studio Community Edition 2017, Installing Visual Studio Community Edition 2019. Okay, so install 2019. I shouldn't have to launch it. I believe it already did launch by itself. And that probably, okay, hello Jeff Scott. Some stuff I was looking at for another class. Open recent. No, I don't want to open up a project. I don't want to create a new project. I don't want to do anything right now. Just want to see what this looks like, to be honest with you. Well, it's got my old projects that saved, which I guess that'd be a good thing. So let's go into create a new project, and let's just take a look and see what it looks like. All right. Looks like this is going to look quite a bit different from what I've had before. So that's fine. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this. I'll save what I'm working on as I told you and then come back for chapter 2 in just a couple minutes.